In this video, we'll be checking out our top 5 utility dinos from ARK Survivor Descended. These shall all be custom and original modded creatures available on the CurseForge platform. And if you'd like to see more of these top 5 videos, don't forget to hit subscribe and follow the channel. Starting off at number 5, we have the Titanomyrma Queen from No Untamables by Meganeura. Much like how the giant bee queen can be converted to a beehive, the Titanomyrma Queen can be converted into an anthill, and it is the anthill itself that provides all the utility. During the state, the Titanomyrma Queen is no longer targetable or attackable, but the hive itself can be interacted with. Tamed anthills can be assigned one of 3 different directives, and depending on the directive will cause it to spawn additional Titanomyrma to abide your bidding. The first of these 3 directives is to order your ants to protect your base, sort of like a turret / aggressive tamed dino, where it'll attack nearby creatures around your base, but with the key difference that you can tune the aggression similarly to how you would tune turret settings or dino aggression settings, in terms of targeting, say, only players or wild creatures or tamed creatures, so and so on, but also whether it's aggressive, neutral, passive, short range, long range, and so on. The second directive is auto-harvesting. This will cause your anthill to spawn Titanomyrma to wander around your base and harvest nearby corpses, resources, and even crop plots, and will deposit all the resources that the ants may harvest into the anthill itself. And the third directive is to auto-repair nearby structures by using resources left in the hive. The anthill itself has massive weight reduction, so you can deposit a bunch of resources into it, meaning that even for a metal tiered base, you can still leave metal ingots, paste, crystal, etc. into your anthill, and your ants will automatically repair the structures around you. Altogether, this means that the Titanomyrma Queen can provide a fair bit of utility and otherwise sort of offline tasks for your base, and allow you to no longer worry about the menial tasks such as harvesting your crop plots or harvesting the corpses of particular breeding farms or even repairing your structures. And you can have multiple anthills at once to each follow their own individual directives. And all of this can be obtained by looking for anthills out in the wild, destroying the anthill and the swarm of Titanomyrma, and passive feeding the queen with nothing but veggie cakes. And all of this free base management is yours. For number 4, we have the Meganeura, which is also from No Untamables by Archelon. This dragonfly is far more simple compared to the Titanomyrma Queen, but its utility is nothing to scoff at. The Meganeura is now a very simple passive tame of just spoiled meat and can be equipped on your shoulder to join you on your travels. The tamed Meganeura works as a portable scout, much like the Parasaur but better, as while you have it equipped and pressing G, it'll emit a scanning pulse all around you detecting nearby creatures, and depending on the settings and filters you have enabled on the Meganeura, will cause it to show you a whole manner of information. The Meganeura allows you to detect wild dinosaurs as well as players and enemy players, enemy dinosaurs, item caches, threats, corpses, and explorer notes. Every one of these entities will provide a different colour and icon. In addition to all of this, the Meganeura already had the ability to detect corrupted dinosaurs during OSDs that get stuck in structures. These will highlight as purple, and also make the Meganeura an invaluable tame once the extinction map arrives. On top of all of this, the enemy dino detection is much smarter than that of the Parasaur. Whereas the vanilla ARK Parasaur will just simply detect all nearby carnivores and give you false flags on carnivores such as dung beetles, the Meganeura's detection specifically targets threats. So it will ignore peaceful carnivores but still alert you to scary herbivores such as Therazinos. Altogether, the Meganeura's scouting capability is extremely niche and probably won't be used in a lot of scenarios. However, we had to add it to this list because this is a prime example of something that when you need it but you don't have it, you will really regret it. Especially if you're trying to find your item cache or a nearby corpse or unclaimed dino, this little dragonfly will save you all the hassle and find it for you. At number 3, we have the ARK Edition's Archelon by Garuga123. The Archelon is back again with a brand new model and a couple of new features. Most vital for this video is the production of algae. Previously, the Archelon would slowly produce algae in its inventory, but now it produces it on the surface of the creature that you can see it grow and manifest on the surface of the Archelon over time. And once opening the radial menu to harvest it, it'll reward you with algae. Algae itself is the much needed mutton equivalent to herbivore taming. So if you're trying to tame a Doedicurus or a Therizino and you're lacking that kibble but you just don't want to take the long time using crops, you can now use algae for that much needed mutton equivalent. In addition to this, you can also use algae to craft sushi, which can be then force-fed to unconscious and mid-taming creatures to recover missing taming effectiveness. This has an internal 5-minute cooldown and will not be passively eaten, it has to be force-fed, so it will not work as a taming substitute, but it does restore missing taming effectiveness, and this can be a big deal for certain tames, or just when you get really, really arced. One more utility to the Archelon is, with its brand new saddle, it can now provide oxygen to up to 5 nearby allies. Both the rider and 4 friends can benefit from this by just being near the Archelon as well as while mounted on it. And to top it all off, the Archelon is simply passive-tamed by feeding it biotoxin. And since wild Archelon typically spawn with Nadari nearby, this means that taming your very first Archelon could be done very early, and therefore trivialize all of your future herbivore tames, even near the beginning of a new playthrough. At number 2, we have the Sivatherium by Wild Waghorn. The amazing utility of the Sivatherium can be found in its saddle, for its saddle has a special spyglass equipped into it, allowing you to see the stats of creatures you hover over. This can be really amazing for a whole manner of things, whether it is looking for the perfect wild tame, checking the stats on your existing tames, or perhaps comparing breeding projects, or for scouting enemies ahead and inspecting their tames too. As we can all imagine, spyglass mods are incredibly popular, and the Sivatherium takes it up a notch by also offering thermal vision as well. The thermal vision, when activated, can make looking for just creatures in general much easier, especially the smaller targets or perhaps things just floating around the corner that might get missed under the brush and bushes. This can really help with visibility, and additionally, just like Aberration Shoulder Pets, the Sivatherium will also inform you if it detects a nearby max level creature. And thankfully, all this utility is equipped on a creature that is decently fast, tanky, sturdy, and just great for traveling with. And if you really try hard enough, you could get the Sivatherium at a very early stage in the game. And its utility is something that will be relevant for the entire playthrough, especially for your boss army and if you're into mutation breeding. However, the reason why we have the Sivatherium at number 2 and not number 1 is because its utility is provided by the tech binoculars after defeating the Alpha Overseer Ascension. So on the one hand, you get that bonus really early, but on the other hand, you could get it with that mod as well. Whereas our next creature on the list does not have that kind of competition. And at number 1 for this list, as our number 1 utility tame, we have the ARK Edition's Helicoprion by Garuga123. The Helicoprion has a very simple but powerful bit of utility, and that is that a tamed Helicoprion can convert found loot into blueprints. What is probably the simplest entry of this list is also, in our opinion, by far the most useful, since throughout your entire journeys across the arcs, throughout every map and adventure, throughout every playstyle and gameplay, it always revolves around the loot, whether it's your weapons, your armor, or most likely your saddles. And once you finally find that amazing Rex saddle that you need for your boss army, but it's a pre-made, not a blueprint, the Helicoprion has you covered, and you can not only convert the saddle into a blueprint, but thus, using crafting skill, make even more better ones for as long as you need. Of every creature and utility mentioned in this list, we feel that the Helicoprion's ability to create blueprints just has the greatest longevity and the greatest relevance to pretty much every aspect of the game in every single map. And that is why we have deemed it the number 1 utility creature. And that is our top 5 utility dinos for ARK Survival Ascended. What do you think of this list? Is there anything you'd add to it? Or perhaps we've missed out on any mods available on the CurseForge platform? Please feel free to let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these, like and subscribe for more ARK Ascended mods videos, and keep an eye out for future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.